Okay, this is my loadouts. This video is for Ethan Subban, who requested that I make a video about my loadouts. Now, my loadouts I have like 7 loadouts, it's all for bass, and 2 loadouts kind of for species race. So I'll show you all my loadouts right now. Very simply. Okay, so for the bigger bass, the big bass in the game, I have these 3. This 7-inch worm with a 4/0 jig head at 50-pound braid. If you go to St. John's River, don't use anything but 50-pound braid. And if you do, you're going to bust off some legendary largemouth bass. On St. John's is the only river with like 20-pound largemouth bass, and they fight real hard. And if you go to St. John's River, you must have 50-pound braid. I just recently learned this, but I almost lost a few really giant bass because I was not using 50-pound braid. So use 50-pound braid. Try this 7-inch worm on a jig head. 3/16 is just how light it is. It's the lightest jig head, and so it doesn't sink really fast. If you want to use this worm deeper and deeper water, and you want it to kind of sink in the water, use 1/2 ounce instead of 3/16, and it'll be fine. But I want to make a statement about the rod and the reel. Guys, literally, the rod and the reel do not even matter in this game. They are all equally good, including the favorite whitebird spinning. As you can see, I changed all my gear to whitebird spinning. So you can see how much confidence I have in the whitebird spinning rod and reel. Whitebird spinning is perfectly fine to catch the largest bass in the game. It's fine. Whitebird reel, whitebird rod is totally fine. This is the next lure, the 6-inch Jankelistic swim bait. If you don't have the Predator pack, you might have to buy it. I think it's like $5 or $10 or something like that. But the Jankelistic swim bait here is one of the best bass lures in the game. You can catch some of the biggest bass with it. Okay, on to the Tremor Shad. The Tremor Shad is one of the most popular bass lures in all of Bassmaster. So many people have used it and have won tournaments and won the online open thanks to this swim bait. It's called the Tremor Shad, and here I've got it on a 3/16 jig head with a 4/0 hook. Now, I have to make a very important point here. 4/0 hook is the best hook. That 4/0, that is the best hook for every map, every river, every lake in the game, except for 2. St. Lawrence and Sabine River, you should use a 3. And now I'm going to show you my bass lures for Sabine and St. Lawrence, where the bass are just smaller, and you have to use a smaller hook to attract them and to keep them from running away and swimming away. But you use a 3/0 hook. Try the tube here on a Texas rig 3/16 ounce with a 3/0 hook. And for Sabine and St. Lawrence, you got to fish bass differently. It's not like these 3 where you can just go big as possible. Here you have to get more medium size lures. So here I have a tube on a 3 hook with 30-pound line, a 4-inch worm on a Ned rig with a 3/0 hook, and a black shiner worm, 4¼ inch on a jig head on a 3/0 hook with 30-pound. This is for St. Lawrence and Sabine, these 3. The tube, the worm, and the worm. These 3 are for Sabine River and St. Lawrence River bass. Not these 3. These 3, the 7-inch worm, the Jankelistic swim bait, and the tremor shad are for every other map but those 2. Those 2 you have to get bass a little differently. Okay, and so here's an average ordinary drop shot with a 7-inch tremor shad, 40-pound braid, a 4/0 hook on the drop shot, a 4/0 hook on the drop shot. So if you want to reach down deep somewhere and get to the bottom of the lake or river you're on, try a drop shot. It's good at getting down deep. And you can't go wrong with the tremor shad. Now these 2 are just for species race. Ned Bomb, this little thing here will catch bluegill. It'll catch crappie. But not just those little tiny fish. It'll also catch gar, white bass, spotted bass, smallmouth bass, a tiny little largemouth bass. If you're in a species race, try this one. Try this. This here is my flathead catfish bait. You notice I have a 5/0 hook, 3/16 jig head with a 5/0 hook, 50-pound line, and the whitebird stuff with this bluegill. Now I want to say one more thing. If you're not used to this, this is what it will look like at first. It'll say no weight. You see this where it says no weight? Well, if you want a jig head, a Ned rig, a Carolina rig, a Texas rig, you have to select this. Or else it's going to give you all crankbaits. But if you want a soft plastic, you have to change no weight into the weight that you want to use. And then you can put a soft plastic on. So you have to select no weight and change it to either a drop shot, a jig head, a Carolina rig, or a Texas rig or a Ned rig. That's how you get those rigs. You come here and you have to select the weight. That's how I got this, 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 this. Also, let me show you something else. Okay, so I just made this up. I'm going to keep these 2. And I want 40-pound braid. Can't go wrong. And say I want a crankbait. I showed you all swim baits and soft plastics. But say I want a crankbait and you want to know what the best crankbaits are in this game? I'll show you the best crankbaits. I got this from Professor Smooth when he was on YouTube years ago. These 2. The Deep Little N series of crankbaits are perfect for the giant size bass. But if you're in a heavy cover, they can get snagged. These, the suspended Wally divers, are excellent for giant bass. This one, the deep little N Nutter Shad, is excellent for giant bass. These two are up at the top are the best lipless cranks, but they get snagged too. They get caught a lot on vegetation. And this one, I've caught legendary largemouth with the Fire Tiger here. These three are great too. The Shadow Spin. All the Shadow Spins are great, and they can catch you legendary largemouth bass and other legendary fish. They're also down here too. Shadow Spins. I don't really use the spinners or buzzbaits. I probably should, but I just don't know much about them. I would say the more expensive they are, probably the better they perform. So always consider the price. If it's one of the most expensive lures, try it out. It might work well. I don't know a lot about the spoons, except they do get snagged a bit in heavy cover. I would only use them for deep water. And these are all good. Trickster really likes to use all these. He's always competing in the online open tournament with me, but he likes all these. This is my favorite, the Jenko swim bait. I don't usually fish top water, but I know that the motorboats are pretty good top water. They're probably the best top water. And I guess that's everything, guys. So let me change this. And if I could give you one crank, one crank that's gonna get you the big bass. They're not all good, guys. Like, some of the lures they tell you to use in this game are not good. They don't really perform very well. I would say go with this one. Or this one. I have caught many legendary largemouth bass with this crankbait. So those are my loadouts. And thank you for watching, and I hope this helped, Ethan. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.